with a fucking $30 controller.
That's so crazy because they pay like $250,000
Dude,
to get on it,
and
it's
did you see the story?
People going on, you would at least have $1 million to make a sub.
Yeah,
I'm assuming the sub.
Oh, we're talking about the Titanic.
yeah, the Titanic voyage.
Dude, there was one guy that spent it was like $500,000 with him and his son to go, and his son was terrified. He didn't even want to go on the trip.
This is all because Hunter Biden just got those charges, and they wanted to take that attention away from them.
The sub went missing before Hunter Biden.
But look at what's the top headlines.
Yeah,
The sub, dude.
The convenient timing.
Yeah.
But it was also I was just talking to Alex about it. Like they dragged it out. Like they dragged it out.
The sub thing?
They knew the people were dead like the first day.
I didn't look into it because I don't believe it happened.
The Coast Guard picked up the explosion like the day it was reported missing.
I believe they found debris.
And then they found debris too, but they also detected like an explosion of some sort. Yeah, like the day it was missing, like either that day or like the day after.
Dude,
and they spent 3 days looking for
the
it.
day it was announced that it was missing, I was watching this documentary on how the Titanic never hit an iceberg.
Jeez.
And it was its sister ship, the Olympic.
That's the one that hit it.
Yeah, so there was 3 ships built at the same time.
They all went down. Not that day.
So the Olympic got damaged. Another boat hit it, or it hit another boat. I think both captains were kind of at fault, and it got damaged real bad. So they had it like 6 months. They had to repair this thing, and it still wasn't up to code. But the insurance company wouldn't pay them because I think their captain was at fault. So in order to get the insurance money, they renamed it the Titanic. They covered over the Olympics, made it the Titanic.
And like, and maybe
they had a ship staged to go and save the people, but that captain was looking for colored flares, and the Titanic kept shooting up white flares. So he never went to go save the people, and like 1,500 people died.
Yeah, but dude, flares are flares. Yeah. If they're shooting up, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, there was another boat out there. There was another boat out there doing illegal seal fishing that was shooting up flares for some stupid reason. I don't know. I just watched this. But the crazy thing is, I was watching the documentary that day. Later that day, the kid that told me to watch it sent me a screenshot of Fox News, the Titanic, the submarine shit. I was like, no fucking way.
The craziest thing to me is when you see the video that they did when they were getting interviewed, like in 2021 or something.
This?
The company that does the sub expedition.
Oh, okay.
And they were interviewing them, and these people were like, "Oh yeah, like pretty much like it's all experimental and stuff." And then they get in and he's pointing out all these things in the sub that are like shit you can get at Home Depot and Lowe's.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this light bar, it's like for a shower or something like that." And he's like, "And this is the controller." And the TV was like just a standard, like wasn't even like a high
LG.
def. It was like, dude, it wasn't even LG. Like it was crazy.
You would think the people that were on this thing, you would think with how much money they have to spend to get on it, they would be smart enough to at least question the submarine they're walking in. Like, if I'm
Stuff like that don't have toilets.
Dude, imagine like they know.
well, most subs like come back.
It literally just looks like a fucking cylinder. If I look at any other sub like that's designed to like go like deep, it's got all these bells and whistles. The inside is just machinery all over the walls, like gauges, everything.
Also,
that
so
literally
is this-
cylinder control panel.
Dude, the portholes on those subs that actually go down and come back, they're like this big. You know,
Right,
they're
right.
really small. They're not that
Probably like 6 inches thick.
gaping hole that they talked about on the advertisement for that sub.
See, I did not look into it this far. I don't know none of
This
this.
is my addiction.
Really?
Yeah, dude, this was bound to happen. Like
What?
when they did the interview in 2021, like watching that, this was a long time. If we had seen that then, I guarantee no one would be surprised at this.
They were
happened.
getting you ready.
I think the people that had bought this voyage would have research a little bit,
Yeah.
you know?
Like you don't.
What were
think
they
it's
going down
sketch-
there for?
To see
To
the
see the
Titanic.
Titanic, just
Yeah.
to look at
To
it,
see the
be up
wreck,
close
yeah.
and
It's a
personal.
recreational,
It was recreational.
Yeah,
They're gonna legalize it soon.
Dude, the minute I didn't see a
And also, they just did the newest, like, best, technology, they used a 3D model of the Titanic to breathe. The, stern and the bow,
Yeah, that sounds
I
right.
think, that's the front and the back, don't know.
Don't know which is which, but
But then
yeah.
between the debris field, they scanned all of that, and you can see a 3D model of it that just recently was released to the public.
So you're like, why you gotta go down there?
it's like no, I want. But it's like you're not even seeing it with your own eyes. It's not like like I didn't see any windows on the sub. You're still looking at a screen, but it's like, oh, it's right
Dude,
outside.
imagine being in that thing when they realized that they were fucked.
I don't think there's much time to process it. Like,
You don't think
Yeah.
what happened?
so what happens when something like that, it pressurizes it and just crushes it.
Yeah, there had to have been someone in charge there.
Dude, they
Yeah.
probably died before it actually imploded, right? Like the pressure. Yeah.
Like, it's just instant.
Yeah,
It's
Seconds,
instantaneous.
I wish you would hope it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw like someone do a 3D recreation
I think I
of
saw
what
that too,
happens,
yeah.
and it literally is just split second crushes like a soda
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, but what if you're like in the right angle? It kind of just.
Oh
You know what I
god.
mean? Well, then you're
Your
drowning.
head's
Yeah,
you
you're
just got
drowning.
10 seconds to think about it.
Dude. But yeah, if I'm in there, dude, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And dude,
I
that
mean,
19-year-old kid
yo.
didn't even want to go on that fucking
I
trip.
know. Think of,
Why was there a
yo,
19-year-old?
Because so his dad was like a Titanic fanatic and he wanted to see the wreckage.
Does
of
he
the
know it
Titanic.
wasn't even the Titanic, and the Titanic was actually sent to be transport troops in World War II? I mean, come on.
All right,
It's the
well,
Olympics.
I don't think he was aware of that information since he was going on the
The
trip.
crazy thing about that documentary I watched, it was like the most highly biggest production budget on any conspiracy theory documentary I've ever seen.
Mm.
They had like actors reenacting shit and everything.
Yeah.
They're conspiracy theory documentaries.
yeah, maybe can you pull that up?
They're usually made in like Microsoft Paint.
Dude, if you look up the one passenger, the Canadian billionaire, and every I don't know if his first name is billionaire because everything I read about him, if his name was listed, billionaire was in front of it, dude. I think there might have been something kind of going on where they were like, maybe you should go on.
Dude, the governor's probably like, all right, we're just gonna do a little test run on how see how the shit works, see what asshole rich people are dumb enough to get on board.
Well, it's ironic because the Titanic, a similar thing happened because a lot of uber wealthy people who owned a lot of shit died on the Titanic.
Yeah, but guess what? A lot of even more wealthier people canceled their ticket right before that.
Smart
yeah.
ones.
JP Morgan took like he had the nicest suite on the Titanic, canceled. It took all his shit off the boat, like these expensive statues he had on that he was like transporting, took it all off the boat.
This fucker's
Maybe
probably
it's
like, I know where they're going. Icebergs are probably everywhere over there.
No, dude, there's like
Yeah.
testimony of captains like of different boats saying it's normal procedure to full bore through iceberg, like ice fields. Because you can see the icebergs like 8 to 10 miles. That's what they were saying. It was foggy that night, but the guys were still saying you used to be able to see them. Yeah,
Well, in the movie, why wouldn't they have fucking people following them?
Hollywood, dude. What the fuck? Hollywood?
You would think, dude.
Like,
well,
dude, they got
they came
spotters.
at the
At
end.
that era, they'd have spotters all over the boat, like people looking out.
They got on watch.
But dude, don't put that many people. There's a shit ton of people on that boat.
Yeah.
There was, I mean,
Dude,
to be
it's
fair.
like, dude,
died.
You don't have to run any. Just one dude steering the fucking ship, and that's it. It crashes. That's one person to save.
I think it's weird as shit though that the wealthy people on the Titanic were like, yeah, I want to be at the very bottom of the ship. Like, what the?
So
Like, yeah, they were the people who died first because they
Oh,
took
yeah.
all the bottom floors.
They were close to the top.
You would-
Isn't that
you
where
would
all, like,
think.
the dining and things like that were.
You would think, but they were actually towards the bottom, like the poorer people were towards the top of the boat.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, if it tips over, I get.
I
No,
would like a fact check on that.
Yeah, oh,
Jamie,
Jamie, fact check please.
I have
So,
a
if you-
question.
Yeah,
So if we can't get to the bottom of our ocean without shit going wrong, do you really think we can get to the fucking moon?
no, I think we have gone to the.
James
Deepest
Cameron.
part-
James Cameron went.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
Mariana Trench. Yeah.
And like he went down, he was fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
but he was probably in a,
I don't think, see, that's
a,
the.
a well-built sub,
it
yeah.
was also a one-person sub.
Yeah.
But 1969. It's 2023. 1969. Did they go to the fucking moon and come back, dude?
I have something more.
Bro, that
Dave,
shit's crazy.
Here's the thing though, the ocean, Mariana Trench is the deepest point that we know of the 10% of the ocean, and it might be less than that.
I
that
think
we've
with
actually
LiDAR or
explored.
with like the new scanning shit that they're doing, they can.
It's
You know
there-
what?
it's not
I'm down. I
physically-
believe you. You're
There's
right.
not.
There's no
physically
way. Yeah,
enough,
you don't
like-
fucking know. I agree with you.
And that's, I saw a video of that some fisherman had taken of a whale that was beached, but it had literally from its tail, like all the way down to like the middle of his body was literally bitten off.
By a big motherfucker.
By something huge.
Big Bertha.
And when the scientists came and looked at it, they were like, this looks like it was done in one bite.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, maybe it was a
just the
megalodon
way it was-
shark.
Yep.
Which those, dude, we like a
Dude,
90%
if
of
that
the
was
ocean
real,
we
I'm
haven't
never
seen.
gonna
Like
fucking beat.
they
So,
can be out
it's
there.
just-
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm going off the movie now. The megalodon shark.
Dude, and like if you look at kind of globe, but like satellite images of the globe, almost the whole face of it, if you look at it from the right side, it's just straight ocean.
Yeah.
Like the Pacific Ocean.
Dude, I heard Pangea is false.
Pangea wasn't real.
Well, they're saying that like the Earth is expanding.
Okay.
So that like it was just one landmass, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the continental plates aren't moving. The Earth is just expanding.
Interesting.
But the plates would still shift though.
Yeah,
if
but
the Earth
it's
was
still-
expanding because
Well,
they're
explain
they
the
would- they
difference
would
of
all-
that. Cause then there's mountains.
I don't know, man. I just heard about this.
But
Yeah,
then I
but-
feel like if the plates are shifting, so that's just that would destroy everything because then the tectonic plates would just fall off each other and it would destroy everything.
Like how the magma or lava or whatever it works, it like
Magma.
rotates around through the core and across and all that. Well, if it's expanding, then shouldn't there be new stuff coming up then to fill that gap?
I feel like it
Maybe
would.
valleys at that point or oceans?
If the Earth is even round, I mean,
The Earth is round.
Don't
Could be a
bring up the
plane.
flat Earth.
it could be a plane.
I don't know about that. Simulation, no, I'm not completely opposed to. Maybe a little bit.
Simulation, huh?
Like everything's a almost a simulation. Or I believe more in like multiple realities.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing with deja vu,
Yeah,
past lives.
and
shit
it's
like
that's how you connect with your other yourself and other realities.
that. But dude, so we're friends with a psychic. She's my little sister's friend's mom.
Okay,
Nuts.
but yeah.
Yeah, friends with a psychic. But she saw that my aunt Laura doesn't have any more, like, dude, this woman has been accurate. She has proved non-believers in my family, she's made them cry. Like she knows shit that there's no way this woman should know. Anyway,
Like, what do you mean? You
So-
have to elaborate a little bit.
She's
Um,
connected.
yeah, like she's
She can do readings.
yeah,
Google.
and it's like legit. I don't know if you're into that shit, but I've seen shit and I've tried to get these fuckers to
No,
believe it, but
I believe it now.
exactly,
Back when you
dude.
first told me, I was very skeptical, but now like she can tell me whatever. I'm like, yeah.
So
I need some example.
my Aunt Laura's husband, Tom, never met this psychic, has no idea about him. He comes in and then she just starts spitting all this shit about his parents, and they died, and it like affected him in a deep way. She was explaining smells of cologne, his mom's favorite dress and shit like that. And he was like in tears. And this is a big biker dude. All right. He's all tatted up, badass, in tears, sobbing. Okay. And as soon as she walked into my house, and I don't know if she's like wanting
You let this woman in your house?
dude, she's a family friend.
Remember, he was gonna have us all over and invited.
Dude, like I was, yeah, 100%. And it could probably still happen. Friends were on Facebook. But and she does readings over Facebook if you're interested. She charges, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder how she finds out all that information.
Get her on the pod, yo.
You don't have,
Dude, get her on the pod.
I could probably do that. We'll probably have to pay her.
I'll travel to wherever to see that. That'd be awesome.
Alright.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, she walked in my house and was like, "Ooh, I sense a skeptic." But I mean, I don't know if that's just like a party trick kind of
Oh
thing.
well, dude, I think
Exactly,
that's a skeptic,
exactly.
yo.
But like the only skeptic in the room was really like my Uncle Mark. Like Tom, he had like feelings of it, but yeah.
Dude, she would fuck me up. Because I'm skeptical, but also as soon as she starts talking to me, I'm fully in. But still, like, there's a part of me that's skeptical, but not.
So I'll tell you a person story, but go ahead.
I have one thing though. Have you, these times that you saw her, had you done any psychedelics before you saw her for the first time?
No, the last time I saw her was high school.
No, like not like while you're tripping while you're there, but like, did you ever trip
No.
before you
No.
saw her for the first
She said
time?
No, I've known her a long time.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
and I wouldn't do that.
because we've had our minds blown by acid and shrooms and other psychedelics that it's like, I don't know. I
Because
still,
you had a glimpse of what she's tapping into, maybe.
yeah, it's like it's not. I'm gonna be like, okay, like
You see
you know.
that it's more of a possibility than if you didn't have that experience.
I guess so. Like from that perspective, I don't think I'll be like, taken aback like from stuff she might be saying. I don't know.
Because, dude, I would be.
Dude, it just
She'd
depends
fuck
on
me
what
up.
she brings up.
She'd fuck me up. I'm not even skeptical about it, honestly.
Dude, it's
What's your personal one?
so I had a reading done the same time like when she like came in at OI.
And this is high school.
Yeah. She said that I had like a guardian angel and his name was Jack, which I thought was weird because the only connection I had with him, I never even met the kid. I did a fundraiser with him with my girlfriend at the time. This was probably like freshman year of high school. And that was it. I did the fundraiser and that was it. So like I remember the next day, I was in the shower and I remember saying like I was trying to like talk. I was talking with him, like, oh, if it's true, like all that, show me something. Just to see, just to
Throwing it out
see
there.
if it's real or not.
Mm.
I got out of my shower and dude, it gets real steamy in my bathroom.
Ooh.
And the mirror was all fogged up. There was a perfect J in the mirror. Like it was so like well, and that's another thing. Like every time I take a shower, I check the mirror for messages because sometimes I get them. Like I gotta look at shit and yeah, I can connect to it somehow.
There's guided meditations on YouTube that you can do that apparently like help you get in contact with your guardian angels. And like you can do spirit guides, guardian angels, like they claim that there's a bunch of different ones.
My heart's pain.
I saw you get choked up, and that was
But,
dude, Javier has a crazy ghost story, man.
Unfortunately,
I know he's moving out. But dude, he told me this ghost story one time he had, and he started crying during it. I was like, and
What was that?
he said he was spending the night at his friend's house, and his mom's boyfriend passed away. And that night he was sleeping, and he woke and he slept with the light on because he was scared.
Mhm.
And he woke up and he saw a shadow in the room. And then he went back to sleep because he was scared. and he woke up again, and the shadow was sitting on the edge of the bed where him and his mom's boyfriend would sit and play video games, and he started crying. I was like, yo, shit.
I've heard of like a similar, this is like, that's like more of a good spirit kind of thing.
Yeah,
This-
yeah. And that was the day after that
Yeah.
guy passed. Dude, I got a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It barred. Like a month after my grandma passed away, I got COVID. It was the first time I was on lockdown. And I didn't go to work all week. I probably started lockdown like Sunday. This was Thursday.
Yeah.
I was sat down to watch the Pens game. Asher laid down in between me and the TV. This white orb flies through the wall.
I remember
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Oh, flies so fast. Goes back and forth, back and forth. Asher sees it. He's barking at it, looking at it, following it. It stops in between me and the TV, and it turns into an oval, a ring of distortion. So like you can see clearly through it, but there's a distinct line where distortion starts around this oval, and it just goes back and forth, and it feels like it's scanning me. And the craziest part was Asher was sitting like right here, staring at it, barking and moving his head, like seeing it, dude. And then it disappeared, and he went over, sat down, and I was just like, for like 10 minutes. And I was like, dude, that was weird.
That is.
You're right.
And then a
And if he
week
saw it
later,
too, that's crazy.
that's the thing. If it was just me, I'd probably say like, oh, I'm crazy, and I would have forgot about it. But the fact that he saw that shit too.
Were you high?
A little bit. But dude, I've been high a lot of times. That shit doesn't happen, dude.
Yeah.
Bro. And then a week later, I didn't tell anyone. I told my sister, and she said the same thing happened to her. She didn't see the distortion of oval, but she saw the orb,
Yeah.
and she said she didn't sleep a whole night because she saw it. I wasn't scared at all when I saw it. I was just amazed and speechless and paralyzed almost, really, because I was just like, it was something otherworldly, an ET. And she said she got scared. I didn't get scared. It was just fucking wild.
Didn't you say it was around the time of grandma?
Yeah, it was a month after my grandma passed. So like, dude, that's like, I mean, I don't know what that was, but right. I mean, that's crazy, dude. So like, yeah, I don't know, but man, I think it was probably grandma.
Probably. Dude, at least it wasn't like anything shadow related. It's like
It wasn't a shadow,
I
dude.
no. I'm just saying.
And then
like,
I looked it up.
orbs are like, you know, that's not like too freaky, but like when you get into like the shadow and like outlines of
Scary
figures,
stuff.
that's
That's
90% like that. There was this kid that I went to high school with, and he was taking like a lot of shit. And I think you had a kid at your school too that had the same problem. And he would wake up every morning and there'd be like this shadow figure.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, this one kid was telling me about that. Yeah.
There's
You take like a lot of like coughs and shit like that.
Yeah,
I think kids
So,
did that.
they call it like the hat. Supposedly, I never tripped with that stuff, but supposedly if you're taking a lot of stuff like that and lean included, that's kind of negative bad trip.
Yeah,
My
like-
experience with it.
it's like almost schizophrenic. Like
Yeah.
because you're not on it, you wake up and it's like now that thing's there.
So it's funny that you bring up like the shadow figures. So another story with Claire, the psychic that we know.
That's clairvoyant. Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know what clairvoyant is.
That's like what she is. I don't know the definition, but
Whoa.
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But so she did a reading with Phil,
Yeah.
and Phil told me that like when he was a kid, he used to see like a shadow figure with like red eyes all the time when he was a kid,
Scary.
like just standing in
Definitely not
the
good.
like standing in
Yeah,
the corner
not
of the
good.
room, right? So he did, and he never really told anyone that, and there's no way in hell Claire would have any connection to Phil or his friends that she would know that. And that was like one of the first things that she brought up, that she felt like there was like a
Still, it
presence.
was there.
Yeah,
And he just couldn't see it anymore, but he saw
Yeah,
it as a kid.
right.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
right. So like Phil was very taken back by that, because one, how the fuck did she know that? And actually, that was pretty much the main reason. But
You know those figures that like they'll be in the shadow and you'll see like two green eyes almost.
No.
They're like I was reading something about them, but when I was a kid, we had smoke detectors like outside of me and my brother's room, and I'd leave the door open sometimes or crack. And you would the smoke detector light was green like then, and it would always like I knew it was the
So
smoke
your brain
detector
would
light.
make up the
yeah,
But then like I watched this I think it was the second Conjuring movie, and there was a scene where they had like whatever that being
Saw
is,
it.
and like it just
that's
the
what I thought
thought-
when you said Hatman.
yeah, well it's like that the thought like because it's like the smoke detectors like just it reflecting in the black like whatever. But then I saw it in the movie, and it was like some being, and they like explained the meaning behind it. It was like they hide like in the night, and they like I wish I fucking knew what it was. But when I saw it in the movie, I was like,
that's
like,
I've taken that before.
but that was probably the one time I was really freaked out by a movie. Because it like did you see the closet open, and the one girl is like they're like talking back and forth to each other, and the closet door opens, you see the eyes, and she just gets pulled fucking in.
Is that when she was sleepwalking?
Yeah, when she was
Dude.
sleepwalking.
Fuck sleepwalking, dude. My mom sleepwalks, and it's been a while since I've had to deal with her sleepwalking. But every time I did, dude, it was rough. The first time, dude, that woman stared down my soul. I thought that she was possessed. And then she was going to like leave the house. She had a purse over her shoulder and her nightgown. I'm like,
What the fuck?
I was doing my homework. This was junior year of high school. I was doing my homework at midnight. Don't need to get into that. But I heard like the sound of keys jingling. And then I'm like, that's fucking weird. And then I go outside and I just see my mom, and I go down like the steps. I'm like, Mom, and she just slowly turns. And then she just doesn't say anything. She points. I'm like, whoa. And then she goes outside. I'm like, whoa, fuck. So then I go after her, dude. She was throwing the meanest elbows. I had to
Was
eat
she
it.
trying to get to the car?
Yeah, she's had history of driving and sleepwalking.
What?
Yeah. She didn't get very far. She just made it to the front step. But when my dad woke up next morning, he saw the white Explorer literally in our front porch. And he was like, I think someone tried to steal the car. Or steal the car. Yeah. But
No.
I knew about that, so I didn't want to keep her from doing that. But she was throwing these mean elbows, dude. They hurt so bad. But I had to like wrestle her back in the house. She's screaming bloody married, whatever, bloody murder. But dude, it was like my sister comes out of the room, she's crying because she has no idea what's going on. And my mom is just screaming. And
You're
then
probably like, calm down.
yeah,
calm
I'm screaming too because I don't know what the fuck to do. I've never dealt with this. I've only heard the stories. I've never had to deal with it myself. But so then she's like runs to the bathroom, and then she's peeing, and then she goes, huh, why am I in the bathroom? And then she like, I guess she woke up, and then she came out, she goes, Jess, what are you doing? I'm fucking shaking. Like, dude. And then she's like, she goes to give me a hug. She's like, oh my God, why are you shaking? I'm like, Mom, you have no idea what just happened, dude. Oh my God.
You probably have trauma.
And then a week later, like literally it happened on a Tuesday night. The following Tuesday, I'm doing homework at midnight again. And it was like around the same time. I remember that. I don't remember what time it was, but it was the same time. And then she comes out. I heard her door open. And I'm like, fuck. So I open my door, dude. It is just a dark room. I see a silhouette and the dorm slams. I'm like, no, like why? Like why? So then I go to her room and then I open the door and I turn the light on. She's just standing there. I'm like,
Oh, God.
what are you doing? And she's in my dad's robe. It was weird. So then after the first incident, like we talked about ways to get her to wake up. I guess my dad back in the day, like my mom was sleepwalking, and my brother, my older brother, he was like a little kid. She's been sleepwalking all her life. So my dad said he flickered on like up and down the lights, and that woke her up. So the second time I had, I'm like, I'm gonna try that. So I was doing it. She looks at the lights, huh? And then that was that. And then she just went about her business. Like she was still doing the same thing. Like she didn't wake up. I'm like, all right, I don't know what to fucking do now. So I kind of just walked her to her side of the bed. I laid her down and I kind of just sat there and talked to her. And then we were just talking about random shit. And then out of nowhere, she snaps, what are you doing? I'm like, you were just sleepwalking. Mom said, no, I wasn't. I'm like, Mom, I would not be sitting here this late if you weren't sleepwalking. I have sleptwalked, yeah. I don't know the last time, but yeah.
So that's what happened when you punched the hole in the ceiling at Bard.
No, I remember that.
Okay.
But
yeah.
there was the last time that I ever had to deal with it. It was we were living at High Street. It was like 3 a.m. I'm drunk as shit, laying in bed like watching TV. And my she's calling me. She goes, Mom's sleepwalking. I'm like, well, what the fuck? What do you want me to do? I'm 2.5 hours away from where you are. She goes, I don't know. I'm freaking out. Mom's sleepwalking, all this shit. So I'm like, okay. So I got off the phone with her and I called my mom. And then I guess she heard her phone. She was downstairs in the kitchen. She's done some wild shit, but she like went upstairs and she answered the phone. And my mom I know she has like a different voice. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but I know what her voice sounds like when she's sleepwalking, and that's what I heard. And I'm like
slower and like
it's like a more high pitch, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's her on the phone voice. Like whenever she answers the phone, she has a different fake voice, and she doesn't realize it. But I call her out because it's like she's happy as shit. Like I don't know, she's too happy on the phone, and that's how it is when she's sleepwalking. Yeah, and that's how it is when she's sleepwalking. So I'm like, Mom, you're sleepwalking. She goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, yes, you are. I didn't know what to do, so I was just amazed that she answered the phone and had a conversation with me.
That is pretty crazy.
And then I guess at one point, when I was on the phone, it woke my dad up, and then he dealt with it. And then, but yeah, my mom's done some weird shit. We've come out. There were scars on every doorknob of the house. There was yeah. So down, like you walk down the stairs, there was like a little, like all these stuffed animals in a circle, and then in the middle was we have like this little. My mom likes pigs, so she has like a pig statue in a chair. It's hard to explain what it is, but it was in the middle, and it was like a little cult meeting, dude. There was when Phil was living with us, he went downstairs for work in the morning, and there was one bagel and 5 knives pointing at the bagel. When Phil ran out, he like sprinted out of the house. He don't fuck with that shit. He don't like all that crazy nonsense, but and I don't blame him. I would get weirded out too. But yeah.
Just because you brought sleep, I've never had to deal with sleepwalking, but then my grandfather came to live with us for a month. And one night I'm up in my room playing, like just watching TV. My brother is in his room. And when me and my brother go outside and we'll go out the garage, like to anytime we're going outside, if we're leaving or we're coming home, like we'll go out the garage. So we're sitting in bed, I'm sitting in bed, and I hear the front door open and close.
Terrible.
And it like slowly open and slowly close. And
You're laying in bed.
I'm laying in bed and I'm like, nobody comes in through the front door. So my first thought is, okay, someone breaking in, but then I'm like, okay, Nick probably went out that way. So I don't think anything of it. And then Nick texts me and he's like, was that you? And I'm
Fuck
like,
that.
and I'm like,
Me and my sister
no,
did that.
was not. And he's then I said no. He comes in my room and we got to go see like what that was. Because my grandfather was sleeping in my parents' bed, which was on the first floor. My parents were upstairs in the guest room bed. So my grandfather didn't have to go upstairs. So I knew it wasn't my dad or my mom. So we go downstairs, the door is unlocked. It's pouring down rain outside. It's pouring like really hard. So Nick goes and looks out the front. I go to look out the back door. And my grandfather is literally walking in our backyard in his underwear, just getting poured on by rain.
Is he sleepwalking or is he dementia or something?
No, so he was sleepwalking, but he came to like once he got cold enough outside, like he came to. So when I like turned on the light out back, he like immediately like turned around like towards the light, started walking like up the deck, opened the door, and he's like, "Oh, Logan, thankfully you're up. I don't know what happened. I just came to outside." And it was
Like,
crazy.
yeah.
And if me and this was at like 1 o'clock in the morning. If me and my brother were asleep, like he
Yeah.
might have not been able to find
That
his
and
way
that's how
back
I
in.
felt when I was finding my mom. Apparently, it might have been last summer. There was like a big ass zucchini sitting on our counter, and then it was this was like during the week.
That's already sus.
Dude, it was, and we don't eat zucchini. Like, there's never been a zucchini like that in our house ever before. And then, my mom went to work and she found the dog collars in her purse. And we don't have an idea on how she got the zucchini because one, there's not a farmer's market anywhere near us within walking distance, so we think she drove and like we don't like we don't know where it came from, but she no neighbors don't have a garden, so we think she either walked to, I mean it's 3 miles away.
But let's think about the more hilarious one. If she walked next door, knocked on the door, it's like, "Do you have a zucchini?"
That would be funny.
Sure.
But dude, for all we know, she took the car, went to like the 24-hour grocery store and bought one. And we don't know how she was. Like, dude. So
and she paid like went
or
through the pay,
she went
got in
to,
line,
or she found a place and stole one. Like, we don't know.
Because there wasn't any, you know, if there was like a charge on the card or cash.
No.
Or,
No.
like my parents don't carry cash. I don't know if their parents do cash.
I think my mom does, so she might have. But dude, the fact that in the middle of the night all that shit happened. She's wild.
That's a wild move.
That is a wild move.
But yeah, there's only been two for me sleepwalking. There's only been two confirmed encounters of me sleepwalking. When I was real young, apparently I pissed everywhere. Like, I came down the stairs and I went to the cabinet where the food, like where our snacks are, and my parents just like, they heard like a faucet running kind of thing, like they heard something happening and they checked and
Heard a garden hose.
and it was me just pissing all over our snacks.
God damn it, dude! All over the snack.
Yeah, and then they investigated more. Apparently I pissed in the hallway closet as well. Yeah.
One time we were camping and I woke up and yeah, like somehow I was just soaking wet. Didn't smell like piss. There was a pond behind our camp. I don't know. I literally don't know. Like, I've never, like, no history really pissing the bed, but that I was soaking wet. I think I might have pissed.
I mean, you could have like when you're in a sleeping bag, dude. It's like I have to scramble fast to like get outside. Like I can't tell you how many when I was in Boy Scouts. I can't tell you how many times how many pisses I took on my knees because I was just I just had to get out of the tent. I'm like running, I'm just fucking throwing my pants down.
Oh,
Dude, if you like that, like when you're all cocooned up in that fucking sleeping bag, dude. I had the one that went around your head too, so
Oh,
I'm like just
wow.
boxed in.
I might buy that for the winter.
I don't know if I like that.
That's
Dude, I
awesome.
don't know if I like that.
Dude,
The boxed in one.
it's nice.
Really?
Bro,
Dude.
it's a cocoon. It's like your mother's womb.
Yeah, but
dude.
what if the zipper breaks and you're stuck in it?
Yeah.
You don't know. It has like a hole for your.
Best
Oh,
part
fresh
is
air.
you got throw your clothes in the next day. Throw your next day. Throw your clothes in the
Yeah,
bottom of it.
yeah, but what-
Insulation and they're toasted.
But what if you
when get
roll
out.
over and you wake up on your face?
It's
You'll
You
stop
won't.
breathing and you wake up.
Yeah. They're adjust.
Yeah.
It's adjustable though. It's like a draw. It's like a draw pin, like for
Dude, I
this
don't-
hoodie.
I watched this YouTube video the other day of this woman trying to get herself, like, talk her way out of murdering her husband.
She did murder. She was trying to.
Yeah, like it wasn't an intentional kind of thing.
Oh my lord.
And she locked him in a suitcase, and she was like, he was screaming, like, "Please let me out! I can't breathe! I can't." She videoed it, and she was still trying to talk her way out of it. Like, I blame the wine. We drank a whole bottle of wine, and we were drunk. I didn't mean to go upstairs and fall asleep and leave him in there, but like,
Fall asleep like that, though.
and she
Wine.
she took a video like
Blame
saying,
it on the
fuck you, this is what you do," and she's just sitting there like, "I can't watch this anymore. Like, do you know what you're doing to me right now? I just lost my husband. Like, it wasn't intentional. You can't blame me." Dude,
Yeah,
this woman was
dude.
bonkers. Like, she,
Stop going to the manosphere.
I saw that crazy video of the It's like actually kind of sad, but it was like a teen girl like threw her baby like in the trash can, like at the hospital, and then like
Oh.
it died in the trash can, and they charged her like with murder.
as they should, dude. That's just ridiculous.
So it was like she didn't tell her mom the entire time, and she's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." She went and had the kid in the bathroom. Yeah,
In the hospital?
in the hospital. She went and had the kid in the bathroom, threw him in the trash can, tied it, and then put another trash
Stop.
bag on top of it. And then went and sat back down, and the doctors were like, "What the fuck?" Just like why are you bleeding everybody? Like it was crazy.
Dude. That's a different breed of human. No, it's fucked up. But dude,
Yeah.
she kind of pulled some G. She went to the bathroom, squeezed out a kid. Like, and just like it was like a nonchalant kind of deal. I feel like.
And sat back down.
Like no one was around hearing this woman screaming, having a kid.
I mean, I don't know how
How
she
should
pulled
normally
it.
wheel you out of the hospital after like having a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to the bathroom when she was taking a shit out a
is it the
kid.
real story? Oh,
There's video of she gets arrested in the hospital.
Yeah, where's your baby? Oh,
Yeah, it's
There's
the
a
body cameras, and the doctors explaining to them what happened.
was she acting like she was in pain at all?
She
That's
went
the
in for a
scary
Real
part.
G, dude. She might be just a
Yeah, she went
fucking
in for
stone
stomach
cold
issues.
killer. Kind of.
Whoa, you think?
That's wild.
And her mother was there with her the whole time and had no idea. Mother started freaking out too. I also am like, okay, there's a reason she did that.
So what in
Fucking mom.
I mean, like is she in jail forever?
I don't know, but I mean it's murder. I don't know how that would work. I mean she's a minor though. That's the thing. Like I think she was like,
Dude, she went outside the hospital, tossed her kid. She
No,
Kobe
it was
her
inside
kid
the-
in the trash can.
in
was
the
in the
bathroom.
hospital.
In the bathroom.
It was in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's the thing. In the bathroom. She didn't throw it in the
She ended
dumpster
up
out
down.
back. Like she
This
threw it
makes-
in
Poor
the
Jenner, he was
dumpster.
just cleaning his shit. What the fuck, dude? Like, no.
It's hurting my chest. I don't like it.
She threw her kid out in the hospital garbage can. In the like where
This
the,
is not suitable material.
oh yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
need a disclaimer for that
Yeah.
probably.
Good God, that's
I did
disgusting.
read one
Disgusting.
thing about that though, where they said that they figured out that the child was sick.
Cool. Fucking
Oh, okay.
great. Oh, okay.
One article.
Okay.
Does that change it?
When
I mean,
did
the
this-
baby
I
was
don't
pretty
know.
dead.
I know that.
Back to the flat Earth.
No,
Listen, if you go on Google Maps, on Google Earth, if the Earth-
flat, it's gonna
There-
if if you go on Google,
see it in 2D. It must be flat.
if you go on Google Earth and you zoom in on people And if someone's swimming in the ocean in Australia, shouldn't they be upside down if you zoom in on Google Earth?
No, because the satellite is in that spot to take the.
You know how many satellites we have in the sky right now?
Yeah, but shouldn't it be from a bird's eye view? That's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be from.
What, you're telling me you see them from the side angle?
So
You're
you zoom
saying
in, it
that-
shows right up.
You're saying that from the perspective of it's only one satellite that you see everything through.
You're right. You might be debunking this.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of satellites in the atmosphere.
When that dude from Red Bull went up to the top
Yeah.
and he jumped, there was no curve.
What do you mean there's no curve?
It was just flat.
Do you know how
I think-
high
What's curve?
he was at the top of? He was at the stratosphere, I believe. No, actually, was he at the
should be.
stratosphere? No, because it's the troposphere, stratosphere, and then the other two you can't survive in without like a spacesuit.
He wasn't a suit though.
He
wasn't a pressurized suit.
So I think he was in the stratosphere, but like the stratosphere is still like the cusp. Like you're not getting you only got the angle from
So-
where his thing is.
When they went to the moon and they took pictures of the Earth, shouldn't the Earth look like the halo moon? Fucking huge because it's so much bigger than the moon.
Yeah, but that's what you think it should
Yeah,
look
It's
like.
all about perspective though.
The
Like how many
Earth was a
miles-
lot bigger than the moon in the images.
But shouldn't it be
Earth
a lot
was
bigger?
massive.
Shouldn't it be a
Jamie, pull up the pictures.
Please.
I mean, dude, like it was. It definitely was.
bigger?
238,900 miles away.
That's how far we are from
That's
the
how
moon.
far we are from the moon. Yeah, whatever.
How much again?
10,000 miles.
238,900 miles.
Damn, it took me 2.5 hours to drive. 200. It was like, I don't remember how many. It was like 100 and
Yeah.
something.
And you
More
can't,
than that.
do
Two
you-
something.
we can only see. If the earth was flat, why are we only limited to how far we can see?
Because like, dude, we can't see forever. There's
Dude,
there's a range.
But if
people got
if
shitty
un-
eyes.
if
I
everything is completely
I
straight.
spent $5,000 to get mine
If
fixed.
the earth is flat, even with
Yeah.
the hills, I should be able to see all far and wide.
Yeah, there's. I mean, the flat earthers were
Working.
saying that there's cameras now that you can go to the beach and look over the ocean. You cannot see a ship, but if you get these cameras out, you can zoom in and see the ship.
Interesting.
Well, that's enhanced vision right there.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why we can't see it
Mhm.
with our eyes. Because there's a limit.
There is.
Yeah, but
But that would mean there's
But
an end
we-
of the earth.
We can
Do we
see
think
the
no-
moon, which is 200,000 miles away.
That's
Yeah.
bigger than a fucking boat in the ocean.
Yeah.
True.
But also, like, why has no one found the end of the earth then? Not one
Or
person.
have-
Well, what if Antarctica and the North Pole are ice walls that keep us from
What
venturing
if
out?
There is just a whole ceiling, and we're just seeing a
A
projection
screen. Yeah.
of outer space.
Yeah.
Earth, stars, and planes can fly just
Plausible.
Rick and,
under that.
Rick and Morty had an episode
Damn,
about that.
it sounds
Guy
like
steals
North Korea.
planets. And
Oh, I
you
think so,
literally,
yeah,
like
yeah,
look
yeah.
up in the sky and it's like he just has all these planets in boxes pretty much with like wall paint and stuff.
Rest in peace to the creator.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
How do you get a felony domestic violence?
dude, he
What other show did he create?
Solar Opposites.
There wasn't one before.
There was a couple. He was on a couple, but dude, he does the voice of Rick, Morty, and like 2 other main characters.
You said how did he get a felony
Yeah,
domestic?
how do you get a
Dude,
felony domestic?
He probably
violence?
beat the fuck out
I've
of
never
his significant.
heard of felony.
He probably it was
Yeah.
probably on the brink of death, maybe.
Mm.
Probably on a
Close to that.
cocaine riddled,
Like that's like losing your fucking.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm not trying to get
Apparently
caught
it got
for
dropped
something.
though, which is like doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, there was something that came out. Hold on.
That's interesting.
What was his name? It's
I have no idea.
Justin Ron. Justin Ron, okay, this was May 20, this is May 22nd, Justin Ron, domestic violence charges dismissed. Rick and Morty creator slams horrible lies reported about me.
He'd probably make
Yeah.
some funny episodes about that.
Unless it's on, well, it would have to be over with. We'd probably catch him. Shit.
Oh, like evidence.
Yeah, like still talking,
Like a
still
rapper.
talking about it during an ongoing investigation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gunna and Young Thug, man.
Dude. What about, have you seen anything about YM and Nelly?
Oh, what's going on with him? No, I haven't heard. But
He's like on trial for murdering his best friend.
and dragging
allegedly.
around in the back of his car for a while.
And he has
Nelly?
like multiple songs like confirming it. There's like a lot of memes coming out. Like he'll talk about I'm a murderer and then like look at the camera
I
and
got
shit.
murder on my mind.
Yeah. And that's like one of the
So
main points in fucking.
and he
Trying.
is like they said he's got multiple personality. To see like actually.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably got trauma from his childhood that's fucked him up.
That doesn't matter.
Growing
You
up
can't
in
murder two people.
Yeah,
No, you can't.
He
yeah.
could go for the
But that might
or not sure, like criminal insane
Yeah,
plea.
plea, yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
It's gonna
but
be-
going through the process of proving that, dude, that's exhausting.
Yeah, that's gotta be hard.
Just let him
He's been
go.
locked up for a while. It's been like 20
Yeah.
years.
He tried to get a mistrial, but the judge said
Everybody
nah.
was fucking banging that song.
Yeah,
Because it was a banger. I'm sorry.
still is.
Still
What
is.
was it a really just a banger or was the banger portion because you knew the guy fucking that's like he was
No,
just
it was-
driving
no,
the
It was the
ball.
808s.
I bumped to it. I really did. That was a good
I
song.
like that song before I found out about church. And after that, I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But
But
And he literally explains the whole murder.
yeah, word for word, bar for bar, every detail.
you're on. You can't use this in the court of law.
And
It's just bump.
To be
Your
honest,
Honor, I was capping.
I have seen a whole lot of interviews like where they shouldn't use song lyrics to fucking
Yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, because
it's just music.
you hear like even like rock stars saying wild shit like
Yeah.
wild lyrics like they're just
Are they
saying
murdering
shit.
people?
No, but in today's
I mean
world,
Vince Neil kind of did.
Who's that?
The lead singer of Motley Crue. He was drinking and driving.
I was gonna say all of them talking about drinking and drive like
Yeah, I think the one Eagles dude, Don Henley, might have like had some 15-year-old girl overdose on coke in his apartment, and that got swept under the rug.
Jesus Christ.
Money.
Influence. Yeah.
That's wild.
I think she was definitely underage. I think.
I mean, that's the other thing. That's like that's more the rock star thing. Like
Underage girl.
under.
That's politician thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people in power thing for some odd reason.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I feel it's like
Why is that?
I think it's because like it. So I'm reciting this for someone I heard say it, but it's like maybe when you get to that level, you've already done everything under the sun, and you're just gonna you just want to do something crazy. I'm not justifying.
I think for
it,
the
it's
politicians,
disgusting, but
I think back in like when the Eagles, like the Don Henley era, I think that they were probably more lenient on like if this 16-year-old girl was a woman in the belt, I think they're like, that's a green light.
because it was a societal thing.
The free love
Yeah.
thing, yeah. I think that's kind of how that went. But with the politicians, I think it's about blackmail.
It is. I mean,
Yeah,
Epstein.
I think, with being political like that, like you're so far history has shown that they're a lot older, and there's that talk of the Illuminati higher order where they're going for the younger essence.
Yeah,
of life.
they're trying to get the adrenochrome. You ever hear that?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
I wasn't gonna bring that in, but if you want to bring it in.
Makes sense.
Dude, Bohemian Grove.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you do.
No, it doesn't.
It's where all the rich and powerful go. And they have meetings almost.
It's the biggest gathering of fags I've ever seen. I think that's what Nixon said about it.
Yeah, dude, they.
It's just a
guys
frat
that-
party. It's fucking.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Dude, everything's legal there.
I also think it's weird. Did you guys see that someone bought Epstein's Island?
Mhm.
Like
Like a bunch of, like,
British billionaire.
Oh, I thought it was Indian people.
Billionaire. It's like from some from England, I think.
I was gonna say, his Epstein's wife, she was from England.
Maxwell, yeah.
Yeah.
The name.
It was an anonymous, like, well, I think they said his name, but like no one like really knows anything
Right.
about him.
Ghislaine's dad was part of the Israel intelligence too, I think.
Do you know her like brothers,
Israeli.
sisters, and cousins are like moderate? They're like a part of Reddit. You know
What?
Yeah, they're like moderate.
I think I've heard something about
Yeah,
that.
they're like her
No.
family, her like in mostly indirect, but like some of her direct family members are like involved in Reddit, like managing and running it. Like they're
Well, yeah, I
they're
mean,
like
it's
moderators of
in-
Reddit.
intelligence is behind Reddit for sure.
Mm.
For sure. Intelligence agencies could have been like behind QAnon too on 4chan.
Yeah. Everything's a conspiracy.
I know. It's like what the
Yeah.
fuck's real?
But
That's
I think that's what they rely on. It's like they send you that the rabbit hole's way too deep to the point where like a lot of people like it's hard to fit. I feel like if some like people that put everything together, like they go crazy. Like those people
Well,
will figure out the fucking
the end of the
puzzle.
rabbit hole is just psychosis. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's where Alex Jones landed it,
Mhm.
dude.
Dude, he's such like a fear monger, man. It kills me.
Dude,
Like he puts truth in there. And it is scary the times we're living in. Like there's definitely shit to be fearful about, but don't watch it, man. It's too
because he riles you
There's
up.
a revolution. Yo, there's a revolution in Russia right now. Putin and all. I meant to bring this up. Putin and all. Like
We're dead.
this weekend,
what's going
We're
on.
dead.
there's like a big revolution in Russia. Putin put out this video, and like they're all like him and all the higher up officials are literally like being evacuated.
Really?
Yeah. So he might be, dude. He might do something fucking crazy. Like this is like he's in desperate need of it right now.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, I never heard anything about that.
Severe loss.
They're gonna double. He's gonna double down. Like all those fucking guys, like North Korea. Like if some shit starts, they don't care about their pop. They will do some shit. Like it's like those kind of people don't fucking care about their citizens, and they will do once some shit pops off. When the crazy actually comes out, that's when we're all fucked.
You know what's also crazy to that too, the NATO operation training that was going on in Europe just ended.
Just ended,
Mm-hmm.
so they're out.
So no, they were training.
Yeah,
They were
okay.
ending the training. So the training's done.
Mhm.
So now they're killers.
Now they're possibly ready
Mhm.
for something that we might not know about, but that training operation is it's complete.
Nuclear war.
It's gonna be.
I was gonna say, all it takes
Please.
is one. There's so many. No one thinks about that. It's like, oh, we can prevent it. No, we really can't. If someone who has nukes really wants to set one off, they can. And those
Because
people,
once one goes,
everyone, you best believe it's gonna be like, all right, we gotta get them before they get
So
us.
if Alex has a reason to be concerned.
Yeah,
and
oh,
fear
absolutely, dude. we
I
got the
know,
button-
that's what fucks me up.
We're a button push away, and like,
Which is why,
no one understands that.
for
We're
my
literally a
mental
button
health,
push
I
away.
have to stay ignorant to it.
You kind of do, but it's like if you
It's a
accept.
wonderful way to live.
But if you
Yeah.
accept that reality, you'll start doing things in your day more. You'll
but-
appreciate the little things in
okay,
your day. A little
so-
more. Like
But if you okay, so say you go off the deep end with the whole Alex Jones shit, you're gonna be a literal shut in. Like,
We
I
have to
don't-
balance.
dude, yeah.
Well, it's
you
two
do have
lines
to
of
balance.
thinking. It's like
But
you either cower away.
How do
and,
you
like,
balance when we're talking about the end fucking nuclear war?
You
Right?
just don't focus much on the.
You can't
the
control
shitty
the
part, dude.
inevitable. That's you have to accept that you can't control the
It's hard.
inevitable. It's hard, but it's like
That's why I don't vote because I don't think our vote really does. I think it's to make us feel because we have the right to vote.
I think votes did count until Trump won. Now they're making now they're
I don't think they
definitely-
ever
No, no,
did,
no,
dude.
no. Now they're making sure that it will never happen again.
What the
That votes count. I really think. I mean, I think votes were rigged. Like, I mean, there's past elections that have been questionable, not just the one with Trump in them, but I think when Trump won, they were like, okay, we need to make sure this doesn't happen.
so okay? If our vote matters, how come we don't go by the popular vote for the president to win? It's all about the electoral college. Who the fuck are they? I mean, I could
Because we
be
should
told.
have elected them in. If you go local,
I don't-
I guess you go national. But also then it comes down to their vote,
Right.
which they can just.
Because
say,
having their-
"Make you happy, but. Yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna still do what I want.
Right. Haven't there been presidents that have won the popular vote but didn't win the electoral college? You would think you would go by the people's vote, the people.
And I think
What vote chooses which vote wins.
Exactly. That's why I don't think our vote really does matter. It's just to make us feel like we have the right to vote so we can.
the
They
thing
do-
that gets me with the 2020 election and the number of votes for Trump and Biden, the mail-in ballots that went for Biden are probably there was probably a massive.
Because they're too scared to go to the polling.
No, just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no, because a lot of people that wouldn't go to the polls on voting day, they would just send something in the mail.
Yeah, and
But
that and
dude,
that's
if I
that's
can
what
do
I'm
it from my
saying.
house, I'll do it from my house.
But you had think about it. The left was the people that wanted everyone locked down and in their houses. They weren't the ones going to the
They're
polls.
perfect candidates for
pushed-
mail-in ballots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they pushed for it, and now it's like there's just a surge of fucking mail-in ballots, which it's like, if it's important enough to vote, and let's just go into the guys
And
that
media
count.
manipulation,
Yeah.
clearly favoring the left.
Exactly. It's like, oh no, don't go stand it, because when you stand in line, you hear people talking, and like your mind can be changed off what you hear in line, or like there's people stationing outside, pushing for their own parties. Like, but if you're inside and I could just sit here and look at my phone, and the video tells me that whoever I follow is telling me, oh, do this, I'll just sit there and go, oh, okay. It's like they get you, so there's nothing that will distract you from voting for your select candidate. You're in your own house. You
you
got
also
nothing
voted
else.
for Kanye.
Huh?
You also voted for Kanye.
Would you?
Yeah.
Ruining Kanye.
If Dwayne the Rock Johnson ever declares his presidency,
I
that
don't want him to
he's
do that, 'cause then
I will
hate him.
register to
I'll end
vote
up
just to
hating
say I
everything
don't know.
that he does. I'll take Stephen A. Smith.
If Donald
Sorry,
Trump
I
won
really like
when he did his shit, I bet you the Rock could win because the people love the Rock. Why wouldn't they vote for him?
Yeah, but then they
Stephen A.
start-
Smith as president, and what's the other his co-host?
He doesn't have one right now. I don't
Who
think.
was
Oh
it?
wait, it was Max Kellerman at one point.
No, the
Yeah.
one.
Are you thinking about
Skip
Shannon?
Bayless?
Are you thinking about Shannon Sharp?
Skip
Oh, my
Shannon?
God.
As the
Shannon.
vice president.
That's vice president. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
The world would burn.
It would. But like that would be a fun way for like the apocalypse to start.
Shannon
Like,
Sharp
turn-
as president
no, like
or Skip?
you get like the the president addresses everyone, and you just got Stephen A. Smith.
Come
going
on,
off.
Skip! Come on, Skip!
And then you make Skip talking to reporters, and Skip's just like being an asshole to every reporter. Like,
Dude,
well, I
that'd
think
be
your
hilarious.
question is stupid, but also the reason, like,
Dude, could you imagine The Rock giving that speech? One, it'd be awesome.
no,
Two,
that's
he would
what-
end it with Can
Yo,
you smell?
Would be his speech.
Dude,
Fireworks.
What?
in the back.
You don't know?
no, that's not the Rock. That's not the Rock. No.
Dude, I don't wanna hate the Rock. I like the Rock. I don't wanna, I
Dude.
feel like if he ran, I'd hate him.
He would
I
be the
really
most
hate him.
electrifying president of America's history.
Oh my god,
Okay.
and like he just it's like, alright guys, listen. So we gave 80% of the country to China, but I'll be at WrestleMania this Sunday. So come see
It'll
the
be like
praise.
Idiocracy with Ted
Yeah.
Cruz up in the
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Dude.
And it'll be like beefing with Vin Diesel on Twitter about something.
Well, after the
like,
movie, yeah.
dude. It'll just
Trump
be
was
horrible.
doing that, so, I mean.
Yeah, Trump had Twitter fingers.
I know.
Dude. And everyone was bitching about it. Like Trump needs to get off Twitter.
But like I don't know if I want a president who's on steroids. You're definitely
Dude,
prone to
If you
Tell-
think
do not tell Jesse.
if you
I
think of
swear
an
to
American,
fucking
bro, you
God,
think of
I
a
swear to
Hulk-
God,
fuck
you gotta be kidding.
Hulk,
me.
a perfect. He
All
was
right, ready? Not
America's.
steroids, hormones, test replacement. He's on something. If you
Look
think a human can naturally
Dude,
look like that,
You're telling me? Hang on. Putin, Kim Jong Un, and The Rock in a room. Come on now, dude, you're not messing with The Rock. Putin, we might be cool with Russia because Putin might like The Rock.
If we want to be cool with Russia, actually, no, we wouldn't do special stuff.
No, I think no. It'd have,
But no.
The Rock could probably fix our
I don't think the
relationship with him.
president's on steroid. He could just fucking flip out about some shit randomly, just fucking throw his desk out the Oval
So if you had to
Office.
choose between Sleepy Joe Biden, who trips over air, or The Rock,
Rock would run as a Democrat.
so who cares?
It's not gonna be Democrat. They wouldn't be. They'd be in the primaries or whatever.
Oh,
Like,
see,
one
that's
would be
where I don't know
eliminated.
that shit.
It's like a playoff bracket. They just get all picked off. Unless you're Bernie Sanders, and they just fucking like, nah, fuck you. Get out of here.
Dude, I'm telling you. No one will fuck
Go
with
back
The Rock.
to the snow. You fucking hippie. Just fucking right him out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No Rock.
No more TV presidents.
Yeah, no more TV. Bro.
So-
when it's all
TV
when it's,
presidents.
like when it's all. But here's the thing, though. When everything goes to shit, it's gonna be like an actual TV. It's gonna be like
Joe
Hey,
Biden is
guy.
literally a puppet.
No. But next is gonna. If the next puppet's gonna be someone a little younger and more spunky, like
Sand.
yeah, guy. No,
Kamala Harris. I thought
He's
the
the-
whole reason for Sleepy Joe was to.
Yeah, but then-
No, that's Kamala Harris is there because that's why no one wants to get rid of Biden because they are so fucking terrified. That woman would
the first
fucking
woman
shit.
president, dude.
Like,
Dude, her mental is worse than Biden's.
yeah,
Wow, man.
dude, they both are horrible. And like they did it and that's why they did it.
Puppets.
So The Rock,
Puppets.
Kamala Harris.
Huh?
The Rock or Kamala Harris.
Same.
whatever.
I hope I'm gone when it comes to that.
Dude,
Like,
I'm just telling
gone
you.
from this earth. Like I don't want to be around for that. Like that's just not.
But you have to. But dude, you have. Well, if you go by, all right,
We're halfway there now.
we should have never. Trump probably should have never been president.
Yeah, but
No,
he had
it was
to,
necessary.
because Hillary.
But
yeah.
he won because the people really. I mean, I feel like
No,
I don't know. The people pushed
he
for that.
won because we were tired of the same old politician fucking. That is what he capitalized on. Was like, I'm not your regular politician. He obviously sugarcoated stuff and wasn't forthcoming, but he was.
Yeah.
So if all
tax
politicians,
returns, right?
let's say they're 10% forthcoming because they all lie. Let's say all politicians are 10% forthcoming. Trump was 35% forthcoming, and that 25% fucking matters.
And not even a politician.
And not even a politician, but because he was that more forthcoming about shit, like when Chappelle like was making that joke about the tax code, he's like Hillary Clinton, like when they're even at the debate, he's like, oh yeah, I use the tax code, but I know all of her donors do too. Like that shit was crazy. It's like, yeah, I take advantage of it because it's there. I'm allowed to. She's allowed that bill to be there. Why are you guys mad at me for taking advantage of something she's allowed to be there?
And
for
just
her?
how smooth he was with the mic, dude.
Until
Dude,
he
just
wasn't.
he
anymore.
could-
Incredible.
Like they've never seen something like that. They're used to just sitting there like hammering the same points. The moderator's just throwing him softball questions. He was putting the pressure on every other person standing up there. Like they'll all softball call each other out.
There was
like,
obviously one leader up there.
yeah.
Obviously, there was someone in charge up there. Donald J. Trump.
The thing, like
Donald J. Trump.
and like people are sitting like, oh no, you're just a Trump fan. It's like no one else on that stage stepped up to even like try and combat him or was able to. Like you just none of them had the backbone to.
It's crazy that they set the chemical warfare weapon COVID out, and they set him up for failure. He couldn't win with the vaccine. Either he doesn't put a vaccine out and then he wants people to die, or he puts a vaccine out
And he's taking away rights.
Yeah, it was definitely right.
There was no winning. So he took their side,
Oh,
put the vaccine out,
wait,
and they
wait.
still.
All right, different take on taking away rights. So you push the vaccine out, we have the right to get the vaccine or not. It was
I mean,
private companies
Certain places.
enforcing
fucking close. Did you see what happened in Australia?
what?
They were like putting people in camps
in camps if you-
for real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
For
If you
real.
didn't-
if you
Yeah.
didn't get it,
Straight up camps.
and if you were tested positive, they
Yeah.
would come and pick you up. Like that's what was
Like,
crazy
dude, if
about,
we didn't
like,
have guns, we would still be on lockdown. They would have taken them.
exactly.
But we have guns, and the American public would not let
That is the balance of
literally.
That-
And then that's why people say it. You know, I'm not going to bring something that happened up in Connecticut. We'll keep that off the podcast.
We'll keep that stuff out. But no, like seriously, like because of that, like the government can't really
Is this
impose a
food?
lot of stuff
Wow.
like on us because like stuff like the lockdown only lasted for so long and people were like, no, we're fucking tired.
Yeah,
They can put
only
the
if
rules
you-
out there, but we don't have to follow them
Yeah.
because if someone comes and enforces it,
Yeah.
hot lead.
And the thing is, the cops aren't like, thank God, cops aren't woke. Cops will be assholes, but cops aren't fucking woke. So if they're
No,
if
they don't
they put out,
understand the joyride between GT. Sorry,
but like
difference.
at the end of the day, like cops aren't gonna like not every single cop isn't gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go shut
Not
this
the
party
military.
down. Like,
Well, that's
cop-
why a lot of people on the left, they were already pissed at cops, but then the right started getting pissed at cops because they're enforcing these bullshit rules. Like, what kind of person you have to be to enforce these
but
rules that
not-
you know are wrong?
not all cops.
Someone who
were
likes to-
doing it.
Not all cops,
Cops
just
were
like not
quitting.
all doctors.
Think about it, cops were quitting because less than 40, I think no more than 40% of cops were getting vaccinated. Like cops weren't fucking feeling that shit. So, and cops were leaving the force because they're like, we're not fucking doing this shit. So I think they realized we don't have the police to actually enforce this. Like they did, like think of the police used to be an extension of the military years ago. And like, even though they're equipped to now, like
Well,
but cops all generally, mostly, I feel like have the same leaning political views. Most of them like are tend to be more conservative people.
Dude, I work for a vaccine company, and the vaccine company enforced the vaccine.
You're part of the fucking.
I am, I
problem.
guess. And dude, the amount of people that
Pfizer and Moderna.
I don't remember. I think it was.
He
I
was the
don't
one who
remember.
tainted the sample. It doesn't-
Yeah, when COVID started, yeah, I was literally transporting like live viruses and shit. COVID
Dang.
vaccine, yeah. I don't know what brand it was, but
Dude.
yeah, I was actually surprised on the amount of people that left because they enforced the vaccine. It's kind of ironic. You work for a
Yeah.
vaccine company, you would think you would trust it, but it was wild the amount of people that left.
That makes
pretty good.
Yeah,
that also makes you think. It's like, yo, some of these people are like higher up, and probably were higher. Some might have been higher up. Than
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Who were actually
Definitely.
not like. So we're talking like people who study these things and like have the brain
Yep.
capability to break it down.
Yeah, these.
And they
yeah.
said,
Nah.
nah. That's fucking
That
crazy.
is-
Or I think most of it was either they didn't like how they were being told what to do, and the fact that there just wasn't enough time to really
Yeah.
test everything
Dude, yeah.
before they rushed it
It's so
out.
quick.
But then again, but at the same time, dude,
working on a vaccine, it's like
there was a shit ton of people dying at the same time.
and I just want to be clear, I got it. Like I got both fucking shots. I was fucking.
Well, I need
really
a paycheck, so
into it,
so did I.
and I got both.
Yeah.
Didn't get a booster
and I didn't-
though.
I got it through shit.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! But at the same time, I also didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't give a fuck. I didn't get.
like,
I was
people-
one of the last people to get it. I feel.
I was sitting at I was getting
Some
my
people
oil
were-
changed.
Yeah,
and
and
this-
my brother.
My
I'm
sister-
jealous of him.
Same.
What?
My brother didn't get it,
My
and
sister
my
and my mom.
my grandfather literally tried to offer my brother like $200 to get it, and my
Shout
brother
out your
still said
brother there.
no. He's a real motherfucker. Like
Shout out, brother.
my parents are and he's like, dude, I'm just not doing that shit. Like I'm just not. Like I haven't been getting sick, and he's like, I'm fine, and
Yeah, he is
he's
fine.
been fine.
Yeah.
You're just. I'll probably fucking be the one. Like I didn't get the boot. I told my parents like after I got the second shot, I was like, do not fucking try and bully me into a booster. I'm not doing it.
I think
They
I
were
got
like-
this.
Like I remember I came home and I was like, I got both. I don't want to hear shit from you guys. Like I was pissed. I didn't want to get it because when it became like available, I waited like a couple months. Like I was in no rush to get it. I was working like 5-6 days a week, literally in contact with people coming in every day, and I wasn't getting sick. I was like, I don't fucking need this shit.
Yeah.
It's been months of this. Like I'm touching people's credit cards. I'm touching their phones if they're showing me pictures. Like,
I get it if you're old,
mhm.
at risk.
Yes.
Well,
Living
that's
in
the
a high
reason-
populated
That's the
area.
reason my dad's high risk. He's got all this shit. So we didn't. But then again, he got COVID anyway. But he's grateful he got the shots because we don't know what. Because dude, shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen shit where people that were on their deathbed from the virus, like they were like wishing that they got it because it could have been who knows, you know.
There's also people that were against the vaccine,
Oh yeah.
and then they got it too, and then like, oh, I probably should have got it.
Dude, me.
But then again, I also got I got COVID when I was vaccinated, but
Yeah.
then again, it's just like the flu. But then again, it was dropping people. There's that.
When like the first variants, like I guess the OG or something,
Mhm.
that one when they started going,
And it was quick,
because
dude.
no one's ever had a real exposure to it
Right.
ever before. So like,
It was-
eventually when it reached 1 million people or so more, death wise, like you would assume, it's mutated
Right.
enough, or I can't use the word, but distilled itself down to
Right.
a lesser variant.
It's a watered down coronavirus.
Yeah. Sorry, distill's not the way. Make it stronger and better.
Is that what happens when you distill? It makes it stronger.
Distilling usually like makes things pure. So like you distill salt water, distilled water, and then salt.
I think it all started from bats in China or something like
Bullshit, dude.
that. Maybe that's just
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's only bad soup.
dude. It's fucking.
What are you doing, host?
Pete. Oh, but yeah, it definitely came from bats.
No, it didn't.
Or was
I'm
it?
kidding.
Or was it monkeys or something?
No, it was bats.
It was somewhere in China.
No.
No, I'm fucking kidding. It obviously came from the Wuhan lab, the Wuhan COVID lab.
The bats is more. I
For
like the bats.
genetically
I like the bats
engineered
story better.
diseases. Which, why are we trying to figure that out?
What?
Gain of function research.
Yeah, like why are we
Who the
trying
fuck
to like
cares?
create diseases? Like, oh, it's like, oh, we're gonna create it, but then we're gonna figure out how to cure it just in case this happens. It's like, oh, so just in case.
Dude, that's a
Yeah.
fucking.
Of it and
That's a scientist trying to make money, bro.
But it's
There
like,
you go.
shouldn't that be on an island somewhere far, far away? Not like
Well, it
literally
was
in the
in China
densely-
far, far away, then became a global.
I know it was
situation.
in it would. China is one. No science stuff should go down in like directly in China because it's such an overpopulated place. Like it is so easy for
Dude,
shit
they
to
shit-
spread
they
there.
shit in the roads there.
There's no one around them.
Mhm.
Not a single soul for a long time.
Yeah.
just population dense areas
And then
where they do all the disease.
Dude, they were prepared. They've been wearing masks for fucking generations.
Well, they got hit with something
So
earlier.
densely populated, because if one person gets sick.
And they're shitting in the roads.
and the smog, like
Yeah.
the pollution's bad. Everyone's living on. They live in. Most people live in like the work, like just the general run of the mill workers. They live in like rooms probably a quarter the size of the dorm we're in right now.
Dude, my mom told me
Maybe the
one time-
size of that corner over there. To be
Yeah, you can
honest,
just rent where there's a bed and maybe like a little counter for like a little stove.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably the same thing in like New York City.
Yeah, but definitely is. I mean,
It's a little
But
bit.
I don't understand why
Yeah.
anyone wants to live in those fucking places.
Yeah,
Like,
money on gas.
I don't know why people want to live in California either.
It's hot as fuck.
It's like you got to deal with like an 11-lane highway.
Fuck all
hell
that,
no.
dude. I hate 3-lane highways.
I mean, highways.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like highways in general.
Dude, my mom like she knew this person at work that went to China one time, and they went to the wrong part of China apparently because they didn't have toilet paper. They like had to shit in the road. That's what they did. Like they wish that they brought toilet paper on the trip because there just wasn't any.
That was
And
probably
you-
That's why they. That's why they. You don't shake hands. They didn't shake hands. They like. That's why they bowed. Because they shit in.
Because, oh,
Just
That might be just a shitty part of China,
Give it
no
a
pun
little
intended, but
Yeah, I brought it on the curb. We're a little dog guys.
dude. Oh.
dude, that's why like
they shat in troughs kind of thing.
people that like live in like
Like
those types of conditions, those countries,
Yeah.
they ain't down with eating the pussy. There we go area. No go area. Dude, I work with this Haitian guy, and like Rick always like makes fun of him for not liking to eat pussy, and he's like, because that's like, dude, in Haiti, they ain't going down there, dude. That's a little nasty, man. It's hot down there, a little uncleanly.
Well, like it's basically the nations without AC, running AC in their houses. Like,
Dude, I was just
Just
like,
sucks.
maybe someone just had a
You know,
bad
it's
one.
like,
at one point.
dude,
You get that.
honestly,
Even
for the men,
probably-
it is a luxury to be able to eat pussy in America.
Well, dude,
because,
it
like,
probably-
Not all the time.
Like,
Not all.
it's
the
probably some,
Yeah.
but it's a reasonable environment for consumption.
It's probably
Like,
only started
unless
within the
they
last
don't, like,
100 years.
It's part of
Yeah.
our cuisine.
Yeah,
The
It
last
probably only
100
started
years.
within the last 100 years.
I
Because
mean,
like
true.
100 years ago, it was not
yeah.
cleanly.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's like when did underwear get invented?
They probably had.
I was gonna say,
Well,
like,
they had-
rough in it.
it was
like,
undergarments
most of the time
there,
back
dude.
then.
Hell yeah.
She was like
That's-
sandpaper
yeah.
down there.
Mhm. Oh my god, the fucking multi. Yeah, when you see those Victorian like era dresses where it's like just
Can't
layers
get
and
through the
layers, it's like it's just like full
The
of
cage
that.
is in my way.
Probably
That's why there was
probably
like the
shade.
one stand-up comedian. He said like with the 60s in Vietnam, they started shaving after Vietnam because the guys were coming home from PTSD or get flashbacks of being in the bush.
Dude. Oh my god. That's fucked up. But if you like that, sadly,
God bless America.
God bless fucking
Where you can eat pussy.
eat pussy.
Land of the free.
Mhm. Home of the brave.
Sometimes you really have to be brave.
You gotta be brave.
Dude,
I'll say sometimes you gotta give yourself a little pep talk, but then it's all worth it in the end.
We did create roast beef.
dude, remember when Blue Waffle was a thing?
Dude, that was like crazy. It was like, oh my god, I've heard.
And that was like,
It's like,
I remember
don't
in
think
elementary
so.
school that was a huge thing.
I like
It wasn't even a thing. That's the thing. Like it's just
well,
Early internet days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
early internet days.
and
Dude,
dude,
waffle
there'd be
is
girls that would
take
people
over.
kids would be like, "Oh, you have Blue Waffle," and girls would cry.
Yeah. You said I have blue waffle.
There was a time where the teacher was like, "All right, we need to talk about the Blue Waffle stuff.
Yeah.
We need to
Good
stop
God.
now." Yeah, dude.
Dude, these two kids got in trouble because this was in like sixth grade. Every time like the girls in our class would walk by, they'd go,
That shit spilled over into our school.
really?
Fucking, there's like in third grade, there was like this one white trash kid who only made that sound. Like he wouldn't talk, he would just go, "Bah." Like he'd be getting in trouble and the teacher would be yelling at him, and he would just keep going, "Bah." Like, it was pretty GG, like she couldn't do anything about it. Poor kid. I kind of sometimes wonder about him, what he's doing now.
Yeah.
There was a time where there was a whole incident about like and it was a WWE, like the DX.
Yeah,
chop
let's suck
thing.
it.
That happened in elementary school too. Dude, wrestling was big and banger.
Not too big at my school.
We had a bunch of Rey Mysterio fans.
But, oh, didn't you go to school with a bunch of
Yeah.
Spanish people? Dude, he's a god amongst the lucha. The lucha league.
Amongst the lucha, the luchadors. Time to cut this.
Cut it,
Hold up.
Jamie. Hold on.
Davey.